Hey guys, this is Mel, and I'm back to talk about Legacies, episode 203, titled You Remind Me of Someone I Used to Know, which premiered Thursday, October 24, 2019 on the CW. I'm recording less than 2 hours since the episode has ended, or it's almost 11 p.m. for me, so it's right on an hour since it ended. Sorry. So huge spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the episode already, please go do so first and then come back and see what I have to say about the episode. A quick YouTube shout out to Maria Lira once again for great answers to my questions and some of her own questions as well. Truly appreciate it. Can't wait to get to giving you answers as well after I post this video for you guys to all see. So I'm going to try to do this in 20 minutes. So let's start the clock and let's begin with what happened in this episode. So first off, episode quote, you remind me of someone I used to know, was said by Sebastian to Lizzie. So there is that. Timeline-wise, this one's tricky because we know that it's a year from episode 102 because it's the annual football game. But I don't really know how long it's been between 202 and 203, if that makes any sense. So there's that. Episode reminder is the fact that it is the annual football game between Mystic Falls High and the Salvatore Boarding School. A featured creature of the episode is a Shrunka. Hopefully I spelled that right on screen. Apparently it's a Native American mythical creature who eats werewolves. So that's something there. But also I will have to say that the graphic of how it came out was really good. I think before that's how I always thought a werewolf would look like, would be like that grotesque of a size and looking like more demonic looking than like the actual wolf form that we get in the series. So that's something there. If anything, it's kind of like a downsized version of the werewolves shown in the Van Helsing movie or of the werewolves in the Underworld film series. So there's that. But anyways, episode breakdowns or storylines. Two distinct ones I'm going to point out is the fact that, first one is saving Raphael from the Shrunka, and the second one is the annual football game. So with saving Raph from the Shrunka, when they find out that the latest creature is targeting werewolves, Hope has the plan to get her and Alaric onto the property in way of the football game that's supposed to happen. So Alaric's the coach. She starts off as the new quarterback. She fakes an injury so that she gets out of the way and goes out to try to find Raphael. Unfortunately, Landon interrupts and kind of forces her to bring him along. It looks like Landon was the target for the Shrunka, but I don't know if that's just because Malivore wants Landon or if it's because Hope transformed into a werewolf, but the Shrunka didn't go after her. So I'm wondering if Hope was just not appetizing enough for the Shrunka because she was not just a werewolf, she's also a witch and a not active vampire, and I'm wondering that's why it didn't attack her, or if it was strictly just meant to go after Landon. So that's kind of a pop-up question there. But in regards to the football game, we do see Headmaster Bartimus encouraging his students to use magic during the game. And then it seems like Josie is all for this. He reminds them that their goal is not to expose themselves, but to win the game. This kind of backfires in the very end because even though the Salvatore Stallions lead the game, it's the Timberwolves that have a comeback, but then that leads to Josie using magic, which results in one of the Timberwolves getting very injured. So that's something there. Last scenes of the episode, though, shows Headmaster Bartimus consuming the dead Shrunka with his jaw elongated and gross-like. So that's something there, which I'll talk about later. Moving on to characters very quickly, we do get the official introduction of Sheriff Mack and her two kids, Ethan and Maya, though I'm not sure if they're twins or not, but they definitely both know Hope. And it was kind of funny where it's like Hope is meeting Sheriff Mack. She sees Maya in the back of the cop car and wondering, did she get arrested? And then Maya's like, yeah, no, she's her mom. We just don't like to talk about it. And Hope's like, we. And then Ethan comes around and says, hey, Hope. It's kind of like, wait, what? It's like the two people I met on the first day of school are both related to each other. So it's a little funny there. But speaking of Ethan, though, we do find out that he is the new quarterback for the Timberwolves. and apparently he had a scholarship that is, from the sounds of what Maya said, is at risk because of the injury that Josie's magic caused. I think it broke a bone in his arm or something from the looks of it. So yeah, and then she was pretty torn up about him losing all that hard work for the scholarship because of an injury. So there's that. With Raphael, we do see him return to human form, though he doesn't seem to remember Hope, which I'm very sad for, because I kind of had hoped that if he was in his wolf form when the whole her jumping in the pit happened, then maybe the fact that he was a werewolf, like an actual in the state of a wolf, would protect the erasing of her memory. That does not seem to be the case, so I'm a little disappointed by that. But yeah, he's still having a hard time adjusting, though, being a human again. We definitely see that when he spends his first night back in his room with Landon, and he's like on the floor, he's growling in his sleep, so it's going to be a tough time for him to adjust for sure. So there's that. And then with Sebastian, we do see him revealing to Lizzie that he is a vampire, thinking that's the big obstacle between them. And Lizzie's like, no, I got a bunch of friends who are vampires. It's all cool. But then we also see that when she kisses him, we see that it's very possible that she could be imaginary when MG is not able to see Sebastian. So that's the question there as well, which I'll get back to in a moment. Tidbit-wise, though, we do get a name drop moment for Sheriff Donovan. So there's that. We also get Caleb siding against Josie when it comes to using their powers against the Timberwolves. It's now Caleb understands what Alaric was always talking about, how they should play on an even playing field against the humans for safety reasons for everybody, just to make it fair, which is very different to last year when Caleb wanted to use their abilities to smoke the Timberwolves in the game. So that's something there. Also, a little side moment that I wanted to comment on. Absolutely love Caleb's little moment of getting a little teary-eyed when he saw Landon's football throw, resulting in a crack in the school bus. And Caleb was just looking all oppressed and like, wow. And then he's like, that's my quarterback. And he got choked up about it. It was just like, aw, that's funny. So that was one there. That was pretty cool. Another tidbit is the fact that Josie's nose started to bleed at the very end when she was watching the school bus leave with the Timberwolves. And I know it was a dark scene outside, or maybe it's because I have a dark resolution on my TV. But to me, it looked like her blood was black. Am I hallucinating? Is it just my coloring, or is her blood looking like a different color than it's supposed to? So that's one there. And then also, we have Lizzie still being considered the best quarterback for the Stallions, I think. I got the impression of that because they kept on begging her to keep playing when she was lost in her research. So that's something there. Now, most shocking moment of the episode, I will have to say, is the fact that, one, Vardamus was consuming the dead Shrunka at the very end of the episode, and his jaw was elongated. I mean, I knew there was something up with him. I didn't think it was going to be that. But now I'm thinking, because he's eating the monster, I'm wondering if he's Malivore. And maybe that's why he's been favoring Landon for the last 2 episodes, making him quarterback, giving him a medal for defeating Malivore. And the fact that since Malivore is known to consume the monsters and they would just end up in the pit, I'm now wondering if Vardamus is his current vessel. That would be something there. It's like the enemy's closer than they really think type of thing. So there's that. And then another shocker was the fact that it's being implied that Sebastian is a manifestation of Lizzie's own creation. I'm not so sure about that. We'll talk about that in a little moment. I do have questions about that. But moving on to top 3 favorite moments. First one has to be the reunion between Landon and Raphael. The emotion between them, that hug, you could just feel it as like that's like they missed each other. These were 2 brothers that were separated by something they couldn't really control. And now that they're back, it's just like, yes, thank you. They needed that. And then to also see that they're both interested in finding out who is this person that saved them, who is the person that just helped reunite them by turning Raphael back into a human. So it'll be interesting to see them have more scenes together to try to figure out that mystery. Another favorite is the fact that it's Hope and Alaric teaming up in different ways with each other. We got Hope having a little moment of Alaric potentially flirting with Sheriff Mack when she was under an invisibility cloak. And then we also got to see Hope's wolf form returning once again when she was trying to find Raphael for Alaric. So and then it was just their side comments along the side of the game, just saying like, how are we going to do this? We got to stay here, but how are we going to break cover and stuff and try to figure out what we were really here to do? So it's just kind of funny to see them working together. I love that they're working together too. Like, you know that already. If you see my videos, you know how much I love to see them working together. They're like the pseudo father-daughter pairing right now for me. Like, I think of Hope as Alaric's third daughter. Like that's it. Like, there. I'll leave it at that. And speaking of Alaric, I love that he punched Headmaster Vardamus. Very glad for that. And then it was funny, sidebar afterward, that it ignited a all-out fist fight between all the football players. And then Dorian's just standing in the middle of it all, and he's like frustrated. He's like, oh, not again. So that was a little bit of funny moment there too. But another favorite, which I want to talk about, is Lizzie and Sebastian. Like, I love Sebastian. I didn't expect myself to be like, it seems like I want to see more of him already. It's just like, like I was saying, he's a mix of Damon and the Michelsons. It's just, I don't know what else to say. So like, I love the whole back and forth between the two of them. I like how he's more concerned about hurting her because he's a vampire, and yet he's drawn to her because like she reminds him of someone he used to know, which I find it pretty old cliche now in this series. It's like, I don't use that line now, but I like the sentiment behind it, that like, that's what, just be drawn to her because she's different and stuff, right? But anyway, so it was really interesting to see that dynamic, and then to find out like, don't, like, him being worried that him being a vampire would really push her away, and then she's like, oh, don't worry, I got best friends that are vampires, and he's like, wait, what? Kind of like throwing him off type of thing. So that I pretty much liked, and the fact that they kissed was like amazing. But then to see, this is where it kind of goes into the little bit of a peevish moment, because I don't know how I feel about this, because I don't know what it means. The fact that we see Lizzie kissing Sebastian, but when MG looks in to see what's going on, he doesn't see Sebastian. He sees Lizzie kissing thin air. So I'm left wondering if A, is Sebastian truly real, or is he just a manifestation of Lizzie's creation? Or B, is it something like what Jeremy had to experience when he was a medium, where he could still see ghosts, no one else can see him, but he can still interact with them, and they would still look like regular people for him. So I'm wondering if maybe Lizzie is experiencing maybe some medium tendencies, and maybe Sebastian's an actual ghost. And because like, the one thing I would hate is that if Sebastian is a creation of Lizzie's imagination, and like, he's not an actor, like his characteristics, his personality, none of that is real because it's her depiction. But so that part, I don't like that version. But if he actually is a ghost and she's able to see him, like Jeremy was able to see Anna in season 3, to see Vicky, see Bonnie in season 5 of the Vampire Diaries, and it was something like that, then like, that means like what she's seeing is an actual person at one point. So it's like, maybe it goes down that line. So it's like, I would love it if it's that route, because it'd be very interesting for them to try to figure out like, oh, is Lizzie actually like, is this more of her going a little more crazy than they were hoping to pull back from? Is she seeing something that's not really there, or is she actually seeing something that is there but no one else can see? So I'd be really intrigued to see them develop Lizzie as a medium, essentially. Be very interesting to explain how she's able to be one and why she's one. So that's something there. But that's why I was kind of on the fence with how I felt with MG's little discovery there. But let me know what you think in the comments down below, what you think Sebastian actually is. Is he a manifestation of Lizzie's, or is he a ghost that only she can see? I'm hoping for the ghost option. So there is that. But moving on to top 3 peeve moments, I did kind of do a side one with that one there. But a major peeve I did have was the fact that Josie used magic after Vardamus told her to do so. It's like, once he gave her permission, she was like, what do you need me to do? It's like, no, I know some people are ready for dark Josie, but it's like, no. I don't know why. It's just like, at times I want to see dark Josie too, but that's more of like her like being selfish and doing what she wants to do, and not like hurting people. I mean, like, this seems like she was a lot more aggressive. She was a lot more jealous. She was a lot more, like, anger driven. She like commented on the fact that like maybe she has anger management issues, but it just like I can already see a shift happening with her. So it's like, is that because she's if she, like, first off, is she the only one doing those advanced study sessions with Vardamus? And if so, is he actually doing something to her and then she's completely unaware that something's changing within her? Because I could see that right now, and I'm a little worried about that. But it's just like, it was very hard and a little peevish to see Josie like be very aggressive towards a lot of people, and it's just like, wow, it's like, you really shouldn't be doing this. You're going against everything that like you stood for beforehand, and now it's like, I get her wanting to make a change, but to make that much of a drastic change is like, nope, something's wrong. Something is wrong. Take notice. And yeah, so there's that. But otherwise, let's move on to random questions very quickly. First, I'm repeating it again, but is Headmaster Vardamus a monster, or is he truly Malivore in a different vessel? That's one question there. Second question, does anyone else think that Ethan might be more than just human? Because the way he was behaving against the Supernaturals during that football game, it seemed like he can hold up his own. So I'm wondering if maybe he's like an untriggered werewolf, maybe. Because like that would include like the speed, or the speed, the strength that he had a little bit more than a regular human would. So I'd be interested to see something like that. Yeah, that would be surprising. But I totally welcome it for sure. And then he can be part of Hope's pack and everything. Like, I'm all for that. And then if that's the case, that means Maya also has the gene too, or maybe she knows about it, and then she can be brought into the secret as well. So it's like, yes. So I'd be all for that, for sure. And another way to add 2 more friends into the group. But then I'm also against the fact of friends dating other friends within the group repeatedly. But yeah, anyways. Next question is, do you think Sebastian, like I said, do you think Sebastian is someone real, aka like a ghost, or is he just a figment of Lizzie's imagination? Which I'm really hoping it's not. But I really want to hear what you guys have to say about that, because that definitely surprised me when it happened. So yeah, there's that. Let's move on to predictions very quickly. Based off the promo for 204, first off, it's not airing until November 7th, so that it means there's no new episode for Halloween. So 1 week break. But the promo does show a demon hunter, or a demon hunting samurai, is searching for a ghost that can possess anyone at any time. We'd also see a possessed Landon with red glowing eyes getting close to Hope. And quite frankly, it's too soon for a break already. We only got 3 episodes and now we're getting a break. It's like, usually it's either the second week of November or it's that week of American Thanksgiving is when we get the break. So it's like, yeah. I'm a little upset, but then I'm like, okay, a little more time for me to do homework. But yeah, so that's the promo. Anyways, the synopsis for 204 reads, when a samurai shows up in Mystic Falls looking for a demon that possesses its victims, Josie leads the charge to defend her friends from the demon's wrath. Oh, I got that wrong with it being a ghost. Never mind. Meanwhile, as Landon and Raphael head to Mystic Falls High in hopes of learning more about the mysterious Hope, MG is confronted by a secret he uncovered about Lizzie's new vampire friend, Sebastian. Finally, just as Alaric lets his guard down around the town's new sheriff, a confrontation with the demon forces him to reevaluate his priorities. Speaking of Sebastian, now that I'm thinking of whether or not he's a ghost or if he's just a figment of Lizzie's imagination, what if it's a third option, the fact that, because I keep hearing the interviews about the fact that he was a desiccated vampire. So what if as a desiccated vampire, he's able to project his thoughts outward and Lizzie's the one that's picking them up? And like maybe like he's just sitting there waiting for someone to release him, and now that he's able to contact and communicate with someone, he might be able to get them to release him. Like, that's a third option right there. But otherwise, that is pretty much it for me, guys. What did you guys think of this episode? What did you guys like about it? What do you think will happen next? Let me know in the comments down below. Love to hear your thoughts, theories, and predictions, especially about my questions. I really want to know what you guys think for yourself about the questions, or if you have answers even, let me know, please. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. If you want, check out my Tumblr page. The link for that is down below. I reblog promos, web clips, quotes, gifs, synopses, news, all the good stuff, all found in one place. Go check that out. I'm a little behind because of school, but I hope to get a little bit here and there over the weekends. So please be patient with me. But also, WordPress account link for that is down below. Anything I post online is connected to WordPress. It's a little more organized, a little more detailed, but still a work in progress once again. Again, same issue with school for that. So there's that. I'm only a quarter of the way through my first semester, if that's telling you anything, which is just mind-boggling for me as well. But otherwise, guys, that is pretty much it. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for your patience. I hope you come back in 2 weeks to see what I have to say about the next episode. But until then, guys, this is Mel. Wish you all a great day, great week, wherever you are. And I have 15 seconds left on the clock. I did it. Bye.